Every afternoon, before closing her shop, Mrs. Maggie would place a butter cookie on a small plate out on the porch. No one knew who would take it, and she never asked. No advertising sign, no camera recording, no words of thanks in return. Just a small act, repeated like a habit. But it was that nameless cookie that saved a life on the most unexpected day. In a small town in southern Ohio, there was a cafe called Maggie's Place. The owner was an elderly woman with graying hair named Mrs. Maggie, an Irish-American widow who lived alone and considered the cafe the only child she had left in life. Every afternoon, before closing, Mrs. Maggie would always leave a homemade butter cookie on a small plate just outside the glass door, along with a note. If you need something sweet today, this cookie is for you. The cookie always disappeared before nightfall. No one said thank you. No one left a sign. Mrs. Maggie never expected anything. But sometimes she couldn't help but wonder, am I giving it to the wrong person? In a neighboring block, there was a homeless man named Raymond. He had once been a long-haul truck driver, but after losing his wife in an accident and having no close family left, he gave up on everything. Raymond lived off a small allowance, returned empty cans for change, and looked for temporary places to sleep behind abandoned buildings. Every day, he walked past Maggie's Place quietly, eyes downcast. No one paid him any attention, and he spoke to no one. But the butter cookie each afternoon was the only thing that made him feel someone still thought of him. Every time he picked up the cookie, he would quietly mutter, "I'll repay this." Somehow, a week of wind and rain had kept customers away from the cafe. Mrs. Maggie was tired, the receipt printer was broken, and her knee pain had flared up again. When she looked at the end-of-day cookie, she hesitated. I don't even know if the person taking is truly hungry or just grabbing it out of habit. Maybe I shouldn't leave one today. But as she stood by the door, she turned back inside. She didn't place the flawed cookie on the plate as she had planned, but instead chose the best one from the last batch. Gently, she set on the plate, just like every other day. She didn't know that at the far end of the cold, rainy street that day, Raymond was burning with fever, curled up in a damp alleyway. And that very cookie was the only thing he ate all day. A week later, just before closing time, there was a frantic knock at the cafe door. It was a young woman in a nurse's jacket, her face full of urgency. "Excuse me, are you the one who leaves the cookie outside every afternoon?" Mrs. Maggie nodded, surprised. The girl smiled, her voice trembling. "I'm the granddaughter of Mr. Raymond, the homeless man who often walks by here. I didn't know about any of this until he was brought into the ER last night. When he woke up, he kept talking about a woman who made cookies, telling me I had to come and thank her. He had a lung infection, nearly didn't make it, but the doctor said his stomach wasn't empty because someone had fed him beforehand." The girl reached in her pocket and pulled out a crumpled piece of paper, the same note from the cookie plate last Tuesday. Mrs. Maggie immediately recognized her own handwriting. 2 weeks later, after Raymond had been discharged from the hospital and moved into a local nursing home, Maggie found a small card in the cafe's mailbox. Inside, in shaky handwriting, it read, "I used to be someone with nothing left to lose, but you made me feel like I was still worth someone's kindness. I can't drive anymore, but if I could, I'd travel across all of America just to find you and return that cookie, doubled." Mrs. Maggie wiped away a tear, then wrapped 2 butter cookies instead of one and placed them on the plate outside the door. One for someone in need, one for hope. In a quiet corner of an American town, kindness wasn't shouted out loud, but it quietly found its way into the heart of someone in need, then returned in the gentlest, most beautiful way. Meaning, you never know who will receive the kindness you give, but one day it will come back to you, sometimes when you need it most. So even when the world turns away, keep doing good. Someone, somewhere, is holding on because of it.